I was in a cell dead zone.
I don't want you to explain, Mr. Bowie. I just need to make sure that you're here right now.
The 36th District Court is back in session with the Honorable Tenisha Yancey presiding, everyone.
All right.
That's fine.
Now calling the people versus Anthon. Is it Anthon, Mr. Bowie? Is that how you pronounce it? Yes or no? Just not.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now calling the people versus Anthon Bowie, ticket number B129410, one count of failure to vaccinate a dog. Ticket number B129409, one count of harboring an unlicensed dog. Ticket number B129408, one count of tether a dog with a tether made of anything other than a coated steel cable. Ticket number B129407, one count of failure to vaccinate a dog for rabies. Ticket number B129405, one count of harboring an unlicensed dog. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889, on behalf of the defendant. Sir, could you state your name, please?
Anthon Bowie.
And Judge, date and time set for a bench trial. Officers present. My client wishes to waive his rights. However, he wants to accept the plea. He would plead to one count of failure to use a dog restraint to be pursuant to a 12-month delayed sentence, with the remaining counts to be dismissed.
Was one of the tickets failure to use? No, I can use ticket number 408 for the plea.
Yes, Your Honor. 2-2, yeah.
All right. Is that your understanding, Mr. Bowie?
Yes. As far as the delayed sentence, does that mean it will be a year from now?
It'll be a year from now, so you'll be placed on delayed sentence. You'll stay out of trouble. You'll not, as long as you don't receive any further tickets within the next 12 months. You'll come back before me after you've paid your fines and fees. You'll come back before me and we will dismiss the matter at that time.
Okay. If I do get other tickets, because I have a neighbor that doesn't really like me, if I do get another ticket between now and 12 months from now, what would happen?
Then this is gonna remain on your record.
Okay.
It won't get dismissed.
Okay.
So even if my neighbor doesn't like me, as long as I'm abiding by the law, there's nothing that, I mean, if the police comes out because she doesn't like me and I'm not doing anything wrong, I don't have my radio turned up loud and I don't have anything going on, as long as I'm obeying all of the ordinances in the city ordinances and the laws of the state, then there's nothing that the police is gonna do when they get there. They won't write me a ticket for not doing anything.
Right.
You understand?
Right. And we discussed that exact thing that you just stated, Judge.
Right.
And I wasn't in that room. I had no privy to that conversation. So what we're both trying to tell you, Mr. Bowie, is that the onus is on you. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, regardless of how much she doesn't like you, there's nothing that she can do as long as you're obeying the law.
Okay, if my dog barks in the middle of the night when something or somebody crosses my yard and they call the police and now it's another dog barking noise ordinance on me, would I be subject to, not getting this dismissed?
You don't have any dog barking tickets, and this is I know that we may have to end up setting this for trial. Oh, this is already a trial. We may have to go forward on the trial because we don't have a whole lot of time, but There's no dog barking tickets here. However, if your dog is outside, perhaps you could bring the dog inside at night so that if your dog is barking on the inside of your house, then it kind of muffles the sound so that your neighbors aren't hearing it. But if your dog is barking outside, then yeah, it is a nuisance. Because guess what? I want to sleep. I don't want to hear your dog barking at night.
I understand, but it's not often that they do it. It's only if, somebody's close to my property or, not even really close. They don't even bark at the people walking down the street, but it's just doors slam. They hear something right next to my truck or something like that. It's almost like the whole reason I had the dogs.
I understand. I do understand that. And so on that note, if it's a dog barking ticket and you could always get that dog barking ticket and go to trial on that ticket. If I find that you're not guilty on that ticket, then that won't affect your plea agreement today.
Okay.
But if I find that you're guilty on that ticket, then that's gonna affect your plea agreement for today.
Right, but I'm just telling you, the paperwork is really already in motion. They've been out to my house 3 times since.
If there's anything that's dated prior to today, any complaints that dated prior to today, then that won't affect you from today going forward.
Okay.
If it's something that just hasn't reached my courtroom yet, that won't affect this plea agreement.
Okay.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Are you really ready to take this plea?
Yes.
All right. Did you talk to Mr. Workman and he advised you of your rights?
Yes.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your guilty plea today?
No.
And are you pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you actually are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth and the entire truth?
Yes.
Okay. And I do apologize. We have Investigator Hoskins. Would you like to state your name for the record?
Investigator Raymond Hoskins, the Detroit Animal Control Badge number 44.
Thank you, Investigator. Okay, Mr. Bowie. Am I saying it right now? Bowie. I'm gonna turn your attention to November 15th, 2022. The address at 184, wait, I don't wanna say your address. This is your home address, is this correct, on Westmoreland?
Correct.
All right. And you own a dog and you keep your dog at that address, is that correct?
Correct.
And on that date, was your dog properly restrained?
Yes. Oh, no. No, he was not.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wortman?
I'm satisfied this time, Judge.
Okay, and are you stipulating to probable cause for the dismissal?
We are, Judge.
So the court is also satisfied. One moment, please. Okay. All right, so the court is also satisfied and will enter a guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Bowie for failure to restrain his dog properly. The court is going to, Mr. Bowie, these are a lot of tickets that you're getting dismissed. My average fine and fee anyway is $220, so I'm gonna stick with that at $220 fine and fee. You don't have to come back for a year, so as long as those fines and fees are paid by next year, I will dismiss this matter as long as the fines and fees are paid and you have not had any further. And I'm gonna say this differently in this case because we just discussed this in your matter. As long as, so if your ticket, if you're found guilty on any further charges, if you're not found guilty on any further charges, then this case will be dismissed in a year. Okay?
Okay.
It's typically no police contact, but now I'm still holding you I'm accountable for police contact for yourself. You doing something, you driving without a license, you driving with open alcohol in the vehicle, things like that. I'm still holding you accountable for those things And that will not, you won't get a dismissal for things that happens that you're in control of. If it's your dog, however, you'll hold a trial and you will only be responsible if you're found guilty or responsible in that trial.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
All right, so pay your fine. I'm sorry?
Okay. I was saying I'm actually supposed to see you again on the 13th for another traffic violation, but okay, that's
all right. I'll keep that in mind that as of we're going from today's date forward, that you are not to have any further contact, okay? And you'll return to my courtroom on June 5th, 2024. That's June 5th, 2024 at 8:30. Now it's up to you to check with the court to see if we're back in person by then, okay?
Okay.
All right, so pay the $220. I'll see you in a year.
All right, thank you.
June
7th at 8:30.
It's June what?
June 7th, 2024. It's a year from today.
So my clerk wants us to be super technical. It's gonna be June 7th, 2024.
Okay. All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your
Thank you, Your
Honor.
Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Super technical. That was me.
Brown. Just two. Oh. Can you please tell me what's going on? Right, just a minute. Now calling the people versus Louis Anthony Brownlee, ticket number 143949. 3 count 1.
Here, Your Honor.
Failure to display a valid, I'm sorry, Mr. Workman, I'm moving slow. Failure to display a valid operator's license not on person. Count 2, driving unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 3, no insurance. Please state your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889. On behalf of the defendant, sir, could you state your name, please?
Louis Anthony Brownlee Jr.
And Judge, this is the date and time set for a pretrial with with respect to Mr. Brownlee. He wanted to waive his rights and plead to the failure to display a matter, and the recommendation is the remaining matters would be dismissed.
Okay. And what's your plan on your driver's license, Mr. Brown?
Once I'm able to be healthy enough to drive, I'm gonna try to drive. But right now, I'm gonna have kidney failure, so I'm probably not gonna be pursuing that in no time. But I would love to have my license and be able to drive again.
Okay, so Mr. Werbling, we have quite a few that are in warrant status. I'm thinking that we may want to reschedule him for another date.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't.
I'm going to call in ticket number SP 7284581. Count 1, count 2, count 3. Ticket number SP 7284591. Ticket number 1622290. Count 1 and count 2. All of which are in warrant status. Mr. Workman, what's your pleasure?
Judge, we'd ask any warrants be recalled and cases be set aside. If we could have one additional pretrial, Your Honor, he would just continue his not guilty plea.
July 7th.
Okay. So the court is gonna set aside all warrants in this matter and set all matters for July 7th at 8:30 a.m. Mr. Brownlee, so just in case you didn't quite follow what just happened, there were other tickets in your file that I wanted to know what they were. My clerk looked them up. You have several that are in warrant status. So we just set aside your warrant so that you don't have an active warrant, but you do have to come back so that you can get all of these matters resolved at one time, because the prosecutor has already given Mr. Werblin an offer for the ones that were on the docket just for today. If we wait and put them all together, you're liable to get a better offer for all of that will include all of the ones that were in warrant status. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And you're able to come back on July 7th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you in dialysis?
Borderline, about to be.
Okay. If for any reason you're not able to come due to your dialysis on July 7th, please give the court a call so that you can reschedule.
Okay.
All right, you're free to go. We'll see you on July 7th.
At 8:30?
Yes, at 8:30.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
You're
Your Honor.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you pull Ms. Wilkins?
No, I'm good.
All right. Ready, Burnett. Oh, I was doing all the ones.
Mhm.
So, Judge, that was going to be a dismissal, Your Honor. I spoke with the officer. He didn't have an issue with that, based upon the facts of the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Workman,
Yes.
I'm not gonna hold you accountable for this, but next time,
Okay.
remind me of officer cases first before
Oh,
I
I'm
go
sorry.
on.
Yeah. Sorry. We were doing good on Bowie, and then I kind of I lost track of that.
I did too.
Yeah. Sorry.
We were doing a lot on Bowie. He had a lot of questions,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's true.
Now calling the people versus Brescia Deshanique Burnett, ticket number 237493201, one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Ben Werbling, P64889, on behalf of the defendant. Ms. Burnett, could you please state your name?
And turn your camera. You can turn your camera on, Ms. Burnett.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Okay, today is the day and time for trial, Mr. Werbling. You said that.
They keep saying that she will start.
Please state
She
your
will
name.
start video later.
I'm sorry.
I'm getting a prompt when I'm telling her to start it. It's telling me she started later. There.
Officer, would you like to state your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Also, Batum, downtown service, badge 118.
Okay, and it's my understanding that this case is that people have agreed to dismiss this matter due to, what was it, Mr. Weber?
Because I believe it'd be in the interest of justice. It was my client didn't have any idea that the driver was suspended. We think upon information and believe that the driver's license is now valid. And I made it clear, and the officer rightfully so wants to make it clear to Miss Burnett that this just can't happen again. She's got to be made aware of who drives her car.
Okay.
So,
Ms. Burnett, you do understand that you're responsible for anyone driving your vehicle, is that, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so be very cautious and careful about who you allow to drive your car, not only for the purposes of them having a valid driver's license and you could be ticketed, but you have a nice car. You don't want someone tearing up your car. And it's been my experience that people who don't have cars don't have respect for other people's cars. So you have to be careful about who you allow to drive. your vehicle, but this matter will be dismissed without prejudice pursuant to the people's request, and you are free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day. Officer, you're free to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now calling the people versus Dwayne Keith Bivings, ticket number P1426554, count 1, loud music from a motor vehicle more than 10 feet away. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling. I'm P64889 on behalf of the defendant. Sir, could you state your name, please?
*6 to unmute, sir.
Mr. Bivens, press *6 on your phone to unmute. All right, today is the date and time set for trial. Ms. Workman, what's your pleasure?
Judge, I was under the impression that Officer Croxton was here. I believe he was. I could have swore I saw his name. Okay, he was. So an offer was tendered by the people. It was a 3-month delayed. My client wants to reject that. However, he's on the telephone. So he was asking to just if he could have a bench trial live with the court.
Wait, he doesn't want to take, he does or does not want to take the plea?
He does not want to take the offer,
He
Judge.
does not want to take
Yeah.
the plea. Okay, so he's asking for an in-person.
In-person, sorry.
bench trial.
That's
Okay,
correct,
so-
Judge.
Huh?
Today was a trial date,
Today was scheduled for trial, Mr. Workman.
but he's on the phone. He said.
Oh,
Yeah, but the phone, I don't know, he's on the phone.
he wasn't aware that he needed to actually have a camera in order to go to trial, Mr. Bivens. You didn't think that you needed to be seen on camera for trial today?
Not at all.
Okay. So the court is going to continue your not guilty plea and reschedule this trial for July 6th, huh?
7. Because we got enough cases.
We're gonna do it for July 7th at 8:30 a.m.
And that's gonna be a live trial, Judge.
I'm sorry?
That'll be a live in-person trial, Judge.
In person at 36 District Court, courtroom 335, Mr. Bivens.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll see you in person on July 7th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know,
You need to, house counsel. Wait.
We're gonna have a few of them like that. 'Cause we got a few in-persons coming
I don't know what.
in. How we gonna work this out?
I had to say, boss, thank you over in Robbie's school, but she always had to in person. House counsel. All right. We have Brown and then Boykin. Jaquan, will you turn your camera on, please?
I actually turned it off, so it's not doing too much going on.
Now calling the people versus Jaquan. Hold on 1 second. Now calling the people versus Jaquan Lee Brown, ticket number P1423283, count 1, no tow safety chains on towed vehicle. Count 2, failure to secure a load. Count 3, failure to tarp a load. Ticket number P142 33081, one count of junk collector license required. Please state your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your
Jaquan Brown.
Honor. Burbling, P64889 on behalf of the defendant. Sir, your name, please.
Jaquan Brown.
And good morning to you and your staff, Judge. Date and time set for a bench trial. Officer did appear. We had some conversations with him. People are prepared to proceed. I believe my client wants to waive his rights. There's been some back and forth negotiations, but Mr. Goss's most recent offer, which I believe my client wants to take advantage of, is pleading to the MTR carrier and the no junk dealer license, and the other two would be dismissed.
Is that your understanding? Is that your understanding, Mr. Brown?
Correct, it is, Honor.
Okay, you had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Workland in the breakout room. Did he advise you of your rights?
Yes, he did.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes, I did.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for a guilty plea today?
No, not at all.
Are you pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes, I am.
Are you pleading guilty because you actually are guilty?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth and the entire truth?
Correct.
You can put your hand down, turning your attention to January 16th, 2022, where you, 23, January 16th, 2023, were you in the area of Outer Drive and Curtis in the city of Detroit?
Yes, I was.
Were you towing something on that day, sir?
Yes, I was hauling a load of like trees and scrap. I'm sorry.
And did you have the safety chains on the tow vehicle?
Yes, but they are detached.
So they weren't on properly?
Correct.
Satisfied, counsel?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
That's fair to sit here alone.
I do apologize. I didn't hear you. You said something?
One moment, Mr. Brown.
Confused.
Mr. Workman, are you satisfied?
I am, Judge.
The people are out, the court is also satisfied. Now turning your attention to January 16th, 2023. This is on the same day. So on that date that you were hauling, I believe you were probably hauling and collecting things around the city of Detroit, is that correct? Were you collecting junk around the city of Detroit, Mr. Brown?
Yes, I was.
Did you have the proper license that is required to do that, sir?
No, I did not know.
Satisfied, counselor?
Yes, I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
The people are also satisfied and will enter guilty pleas for count 1 on ticket number ending in 3283 for no tow safety chains on tow vehicle, and count 1 on ticket number ending in 3308 junk collector license required, dismissing all other counts without prejudice. Mr. Brown, I am going to assess fines and fees in each of these matters for $190. Are you working, sir?
I'm not trying to work for myself, but I stopped scrapping due to this reason for this. So I'm really trying to get my scrap license so I can continue back, because that's what's my way of, providing and whatnot, and also cut grass and do haulaways and trash outs. But it's real slow right now, so.
Okay. It's grass season though, so you should be able to get quite a few grass clients.
Oh yeah, my trailer, I got another trailer when they took it once they went
Wait,
to the house.
Are you licensed for tree removal?
Not licensed, but I do tree removal though as well.
Okay, so just make sure that anything that you're doing, you need to contact the state of Michigan and find out if you or the city of Detroit and find out if there's a requirement that you have a license for these things that you're doing. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Because if it requires a license, you have to obtain that license, and then you'll be able to do more and possibly get more clients when you're licensed, especially when you're licensed and insured.
Correct. That is true. That is true.
So in this case, though, I still am assessing the fees, the normal fees. Well, I'm going lower than my normal fee of $220. I'm gonna assess fees at $190 each for a total of $380. Will you be able to make that payment within the next 30 days?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so it's gonna be due on July 7th, 2023. If you don't make that payment by then, you do need to appear back on this Zoom at 8:30 that morning. Mr. Workman, this was not a delayed sentence, was it?
No, it was not, Judge.
So as long as you've paid it by July 7th, you don't need to appear back in my courtroom, okay?
Okay.
If you haven't paid it, we'll see you on July 7th at 8:30.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Workman.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one.
What were you saying? Mr. Workman, were you able to verify Ms. Boykin's registration and plate?
Yes, Judge, it's for her current vehicle
All right,
because
So
it's
now how
in
the
her name.
great. Now calling the people versus Linda C. Boykin, ticket number P1441852, count 1, improper place, count 2, driving unregistered untitled vehicle. Please state your appearances for the record.
Ben Werbling, P64889 on behalf of the defendant. Miss, could you please state your name for the record?
Linda Boykin.
And Judge, this is the date and time.
Pre-trial.
Yeah, pre-trial. Thank you, Judge. I've examined the documents for the current vehicle. The prior vehicle, I believe, was sold, and everything's valid now. So we're moving to dismiss for compliance.
And so the court will acknowledge that an officer of the court has verified that Ms. Boykin does in fact have current registration and plates on the vehicle that she now owns, and these matters will be dismissed without prejudice.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Boykin, you're free to go. Make sure you're keeping those documents in the car with you though, so that you don't have to try to figure out this Zoom situation in the future, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Judge. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye.
Your book is working. I believe that we're off YouTube.
I'm going off now.